Hello, and welcome to our Senior Capstone Project presentation. We are Group 3, and our team members are Jeremy Meyerson, Alex Martinez, Elizabeth Smith, and Taylor Harbin. We are going to start this presentation by introducing you to our team. Our team consists of 4 students from Kennesaw State University. We have been assigned this project as part of our Senior Capstone course, and we will demonstrate our system in the next couple of slides. Jeremy was responsible for back-end programming, I was responsible for the PHP programming, Elizabeth was responsible for design writing, and Taylor was responsible for the front-end programming. The client for our capstone project is Miller Vet Play and Stay. They began operations in March 2020 as an expansion of Dr. Miller's mobile veterinary services. Miller Vet Play and Stay offers a variety of pet, daycare, and boarding packages of both cats and dogs. We're all animal lovers and decided this would be the perfect project to showcase our skills and help a local startup company who shares our passion for pets. Miller Vet Play and Stay is continuing to grow its customer base, but is currently hampered by their current technological integration with Dr. Miller's veterinary business. Their current system is purpose-built veterinary information system that is too specialized for the Play and Stay. Our team proposed to create a full-stack appointment booking system to address the various aspects of the Play and Stay operations, including pet and owner information, appointment information, kennel usage information, and employee information.
In order to deliver on that proposal, we had to implement a process to actually create that system. So first, as I'm sure you can tell, we met with that client initially, Miller Vet Play and Stay. It was a lovely meeting, and during that time, we were able to observe the current system they're using, which is Covitra's eVet Practice, which, well, a great system for the very specialized application of, a full-service veterinary business. Doesn't really suit sort of the toned-down Play and Stay. They don't need all this complex medical information or vaccination information. So, we decided that it would be, much better to have a sort of stripped down, less expensive and, less laggy system to meet, those sort of restricted needs. So then we set about researching and learning the necessary technical skills we would need to complete that system. We researched, how to write MySQL, HTML and CSS, PHP, and JavaScript. And then once we had that research done, we then set about designing our project, both in terms of sort of the technological stack and the concepts behind it, and also how it would look, and how we wanted the web portal to sort of interact with users. And once we had that done, we then actually began coding the project. And after we had made significant progress on that, we then met with the client again and we presented sort of our updated findings and also narrowed our scope slightly. There was some functionality, unfortunately, we weren't able to say that we could confidently implement that within our time frame. Specifically, there are certain editorial functions with regards to appointment records and pet records that we weren't able to implement. However, we felt as though what we were likely to deliver more than satisfied beyond the minimum viable product. And then once we did that, we then completed the coding of our project, and now we're presenting the system to the class, and we will present it to the client shortly. So in terms of the challenges that we faced, there have been so many challenges. Just to name a few of them right now, drop-down menus and buttons. These plagued us for so many hours, getting them to function as intended, to align correctly on the page, to actually post the choice of functionality that the user chooses in the context. This was incredibly difficult, and we struggled with it for quite some time, but fortunately we've got all of them working at this current moment in our system. Filters for the appointment views. Unfortunately, this was only able to be half implemented. It doesn't function as intended within the current implementation of the site, which you'll see when we demo it. However, it's close to done, and someone could easily step in, if we had an extended time frame and just sort of finish that up. PHP security variables and the connection string to connect to our database. This ties right in with deploying a Bluehost. We spent many hours, including some with Dr. French, trying to figure out how to deploy this site to the public internet via Bluehost, and unfortunately we're unable to find a way to do that successfully while retaining functionality. So in its current incarnation, it is only running on a local server, And finally, PHP post functionality, getting the options that people choose from, provided options derived from the database to actually select was quite difficult and required a ton of coding and recoding. But fortunately, we were able to get all of those implementations working. And finally, let's show you the system and give you an idea of what we've accomplished. Okay, so now let's actually demo the site. So here's our index page, sort of the home base of operations for our system, if you will. We have this logo, which simply refreshes our index page, as well as this home button. We have our About Us page, which has a blurb explaining who Miller Vet Play and Stay is, as well as who we are as the developers. So let's go back. We can also see the terms of service, just another sort of small paragraph explaining what this website is and what the purpose of it is and how it's supposed to be used in this developmental state. So now let's log in as a customer to demonstrate our first functionalities. So we're logging in as Nora French, which is totally not the reversal of the name of our professor, Aaron French. And for all of our usernames and passwords in this current state, their username is capital first letter, their name 1, and then their password is all lowercase, their name PW. Obviously, that's not great for security, but just for simplicity in this developmental state. So now we've logged in. You can see it says "Welcome, Nora," greeting you by your first name. So let's view the pets appointments. As you can see, we have 3 appointments here. Paisley is in the small kennels twice. We can see when those appointments begin, when they end, when they were booked in our system. We can also see Buster has an appointment as well, when that is. And now, actually, if we look here at our pets, Paisley and Buster are actually shared between Dr. French and Jennifer Aniston. So now, if we go back to that dashboard and log out, let's log in as Jennifer Aniston. And if we view pets appointments, we can see the 2 appointments for Paisley and the 1 appointment for Buster. So showing you, that it shows either owner the information. So that's sort of the gist of our customer functionalities. So now let's move over to our employees. So now we'll be signing in as Aaron French. Same deal as before. Our passwords and usernames are that template. So now let's add an appointment. So we've been talking all about Buster. So let's say Buster has an appointment in the medium kennels. Let's say that Buster wants to be in that kennel from the 24th to the 26th. We can say that Buster brought a pink leash. So now we've created that appointment successfully. So now if we go to our dashboard, view our appointment schedule, right there at the bottom we can see Buster Aniston, when the appointment is for, and we just booked it right now. And now, unfortunately, as we mentioned before, if we try and use these filters, so let's do it for the entire month of November, that should include the appointment we just booked, it doesn't work. It's not submitting the right information. So that's definitely something we'd like to improve on if the scope of time was extended. But going back here, let's delete that appointment now. So let's scroll to the bottom. We can see Buster Aniston. We just booked that. So let's delete that real quick. And now if we come back here, view our appointment schedule, that appointment for Buster is nowhere to be found, just this an original appointment we already saw, showing you that that delete functionality works. So now let's add a pet. So let's say maybe Dr. French, he's really wanting to get another dog as well, add a third furry friend to the family. So let's say gets Barbie. Barbie's a little baby who was just born a few months ago. Let's say Barbie is a Yorkie, small size class, good temperament. Let's say that Barbie has a lazy eye. And then let's say Nora and Jennifer Aniston own Barbie. So pet added successfully. So now let's go view our pets list. And we can see right at the bottom, Barbie French, our brand new Yorkie friend, owned by Nora and Jennifer Aniston. And we can also see, obviously we wanted to have dual owner support because a lot of pets are owned by, sort of couples or friends or, a group of people. But we also have support, say, if people, if only one person owns the pet, it'll just show NA as the second owner. So now let's delete that pet. So let's say for some reason things with Barbie didn't work out. Let's delete Barbie. And now if we come back here, let's view that pets list. And Barbie is nowhere to be found. And now let's log out of this. And if we try and access that dashboard again, it's going to take us to this login because it's login protected with our security variables. So now that sums up our employee functionality. So now let's move on to our managers. So we're going to be logging in as Aaron French again because he is a manager in this system. Same password and username combo. So now let's add an employee. So let's say we want to add Ash Ketchum. Let's say he was born in 1997, right? And let's say he was born right then. Lives on Oak Street from Los Angeles. And let's say he's not a manager. He's just an associate daycare aide, and he's part-time. We've created all this genericized information. So now let's follow our same template. And let's create this employee, Ash Ketchum. He's sick of catching Pokemon, and now he's working for Miller Vet Play and Stay. So now let's go to view our employees list. And if we scroll down, we can see our 3 managers, all with this manager tag. This is all generic information. It's not real info. And then we can see we just added Ash Ketchum. He's a daycare aide associate and part-time. So now if we go back here, let's log out. And let's try and log in as Ash. Wrong credentials. He's not a manager, so he doesn't have access. But if we go to our employees login, now let's try with Ash. It's going to let him right in because he is an employee, just not a manager. So now let's log back into that manager's tab. So we're going to log back in as Dr. French. And then let's say things with Ash didn't work out. He wants to get back to catching Pokemon. So we're letting him go. So now let's go back. Let's view this employees list. And look at that. Ash is nowhere to be found. It's just our 3 managers as we started. So now we can log out again. And if we try and brute force our way to that dashboard, it's not going to let us. It's going to redirect us to that login we have right here. So overall, that's the gist of our functionality with this website. We're pretty proud of what we've accomplished. We feel like we've gone way past the minimum viable project we thought we could do. We're hoping that the client is proud of what we've accomplished, and we hope that you all are as well. So thank you. Thank you for watching this presentation on our appointment booking app. And thank you for a great semester.